Alright, our goal today is going to be to create a pop animation to text. This can be applied not just to text but also to shapes and other components of your editing. So first I went into Canva and I chose in Canva to do a new video. I searched in the elements first for music video because I wanted to find some type of background, and I found this background, and it is in MP4, so it is going to be a video. And then I made another slide and I have this text that I picked. I'm going to make sure that this text doesn't have an animation on it because I'm going to animate it in Adobe. So after I do that, I'm going to click the first slide and I'm going to go ahead and download my first slide as an MP4. I'm going to change the pages to just one page because I don't want an animated page 2. I'm going to click done and it's going to download. And after that is downloaded, I'm going to go ahead and click on my second slide and I'm going to choose share. This time when I choose download, I'm going to change this to a PNG and I'm going to check the box that says transparent background. I'm going to change my select pages to just page 2. I'm going to click done and download. Now both items have downloaded, so in Adobe I've set up a project. Notice I titled my project Pop Tutorial. In my import media, I'm going to find my 2 downloaded items, and I'm going to hold Command so I can select both at the same time, drag and drop them into my project media. Notice now that the text in the background has black because it is transparent. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new sequence, File New, Sequence. I'm going to change this sequence name to Pop Tutorial and hit OK. I'm going to drag my clip out onto the V1 timeline. I'm going to change sequence settings. I'm not sure why it's asking me for that, but because this is practice, that's okay. Now I'm going to drag the PNG out on top of my image. If I hover over that or drag my cursor, notice that there is nothing in the background. Now I want to animate this. So I'm going to drag my playhead back to the position I want to see. I'm going to expand my track for my video by clicking and dragging upwards so I can see the opacity marker. And I'm going to double click and go into my effect controls. I want this to appear out of nowhere and pop and kind of bounce. So first thing I'm going to do after going into the effect controls is make sure that my clip is selected. I'm going to scale this down to 0 so that I can't see the text. I'm going to press this toggle animation or stopwatch so it creates the keyframe on 0. Now I'm going to use my arrow key to move my playhead over about 5 frames. So I'm pressing over with my arrow key on the right 5 times. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And under scale now, I've moved my cursor over 5 frames and I'm going to type in 120 so that it's going to scale up to 120 of its size from 0. So 120, and I'm going to hit enter. Notice now my text has popped up. I'm going to press over again 3 times with my arrow key to the right. 1, 2, 3. After pressing over 3 times, I'm going to go ahead and change the scale again. This time I'm going to drop it down to 95, so it's making it a little bit smaller. Now I'm going to press my arrow key 3 more times, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to scale back to 100 and press enter. Now if I drag my playhead back, the text should pop and kind of bounce and then settle. Now that I see what this scale effect looks like, what I can do is zoom in a little bit on my timeline, and to get a smoother look to that pop, I'm going to change my keyframes. So I'm going to click and drag in my effect controls to select all those keyframes at once. I'm going to right click one of those keyframes and I'm going to choose Continuous Bezier. This should smooth out a little bit of my animation. Now, because my video clip is 30 seconds long, I want to change the length of time of this animation, so I'm going to zoom in more so that I can see my playhead a little bit better. Now, in order to change the timing of my pop, I'm going to first need to reselect all of those keyframes, right click and choose linear. Now I can select each keyframe individually to extend its length of time. So if I wanted this to start at the original keyframe that I had it, I can take the rest of the keyframes and drag them down to move the timeout more. I can take the second to the last keyframes and move it, and then I can take the last keyframe and move it again. If I watch my animation now, notice that it does pause a little bit more in the middle. This is where you would be making choices as the designer of how you want this to look. Now, if I want this to disappear, I'm going to change these back to linear, from linear to continuous Bezier. If I want this to pop out and then disappear, I'm going to just do this process in reverse. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set another keyframe with this scaled at 100 again. And I'm going to press my arrow key to the right 3 times, 3. And I'm going to scale this down to 95, which was the second to last scale that I originally put on the intro. I'm going to move over 3 more times, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to scale this up to 120. And I'm going to move one more time, 5 times, and I'm going to scale this down to 0. Now I should have a reverse pop effect. So if we watch the whole clip, it pops in and pops out. Your job is to go in, find a background, create 2 different pieces of text that you will animate to pop in and pop out like I did.